We've been in pretty good shape. We forecast out an annual build schedule, so we know what we're going to build over time. I don't want to see a whole lot of carryover from year after year with all of our dealers, so we don't overflood our market. Worst thing a manufacturer could do is build way too many and then not build near as much the next year. I'd rather ride the slow and steady than like these ebbs and flows, right? So. I think we're doing good on our strategy. I would say that, because it is basically December 2nd right now, put this in whenever you want to. But the reality is the buying cycle, and we don't like to be in seasonality mode, but there is certainly a buying cycle that changes. And that came early. And a lot of that was out in the Dakotas because the ice came on strong. They're building ice right now. I think they have highs of 23s, today. So they're going, and that kind of fueled it. And I think some of the dealers feel the pressure that there's not enough inventory, and that's a better place to be as a manufacturer.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a spot where everybody's got tons of inventory, because like you say, it puts you in a spot where you can't build, and it also puts you in a spot where maybe these things are being sold in a different way than what you want them to be.
Right, yeah, and I think over time, we've always stuck to our guns of who we are, which is really listening to who our market is. We didn't establish and stake our flag and say, this is it. We said, okay, this is who we are. We're going to just continue to duplicate and replicate that and be a better manufacturer, trying to understand who we are. Because of that, I think that we're doing well. I'm of course being on the sales end of things. I wish we were selling 5 times more than we always are, but you still got to build it. You still got to find the employees and the supply chain evening out, but still a lot of challenges there too.
Yeah, what's happening on that front? Because I know that's something that's really tough for everybody. Really.
It is tough for everybody. I think that it's complicated. I think that the conversation quickly could go into politics. Some of it could go into worldwide effects of COVID. I think in 10 years, this is a better conversation. I can tell you what happened as opposed to what's happening next. Right. You know what I mean? But I think in a lot of people, I remember back in the Obama administration, a lot of guns were leaving the shelf, especially in the election cycles. It's just the way it was. Let's talk historically. And what happened was that all the stores were putting in 5 times the order of what they really needed to make sure they had enough volume to get the attention, to get the inventory.
Right.
And I think that happened with some of the RV and boat manufacturers and stuff like that, that they might have overstepped where they were. And I don't know. I don't think we ever saw the increase in buying cycle and the quicker the inventory went as, hey, this is the way it is forever. I think we saw this as a peak. I think that we continue to maintain our numbers and do what we did. And the ones that overstretched are going to pay a little bit for it. And we see some manufacturers that are in that world, and that's okay. I mean, you got to make that call. I mean, what if we were wrong,
What do you see? I know you guys are always kind of innovating and coming up with new stuff. What do you see in these houses? What are people going to see when they come in and take a look at a core? What are some of the innovations that you're proud of right now?
I think that should always be proud that we're a very, very lightweight fish house. And our capability of being a toy hauler is very paramount. Being a composite panel fish house puts us in a unique spot in the market. Some of our mobility stuff, and that's day one stuff that I'm proud of, but I think it still rings very true today. I think that also the way that we light and illuminate the inside and outside our fish house, these are staple expectations of core. The innovations and new things that we've come out with, probably in the way that we market our trailers, we no longer say, like if you want to go buy a $30,000 trailer, then you add everything up and you're really buying a $50,000 trailer. We just said, here's what you get for 50 grand, because everybody options it there anyway. So we're just bold with our options and said, this is the full package. But innovations, we continue to have more of a network wiring system. Since we don't have studs in our walls, we can't run wires all over the place. So we have a network system within our fish houses that allow you a lot of different functions, from being able to run your jacks from the inside or outside of the house, and even with some the app extensions that you have, so you can run your house on an app for your lighting. I think that that's really a big innovation that we've had a lot of success with.
Tell me about, you've always got your finger on the pulse of what's going on. What are some of the trends right now that you're seeing in the wheelhouse industry?
Some of my friends and I were talking about what they're selling currently right now, and what they're selling is larger. It seems like they're going bigger and bigger. We don't have a lack of market right now when it comes to our 8026 unit. That buyer continues to show up. It's a big number, it's a $100,000 plus unit,
right.
But they show up and they're buying, and that's nice to be in that market where that validates what that project is, and it's nice to have that ownership out there to prove that this is what people want. But so there are trends for bigger and better. I think for some of the manufacturers, for us, we excel in mobility and transportation of toys, and I think that as the people are spending more money on what they're putting in their trailers, they want to complement that with the right pairing of a trailer, and we excel there.
Yeah, let's get into that a little bit. I mean, we're talking about a big house and a big investment.
Yeah.
These are people that are using it on the ice, but I mean, they're probably using it in other places as well.
I think so. I think that we have a pretty split market. You probably have seen our line. We have that green highlight. It says Core RV versus the Core Ice. And the ice would be non-water package type stuff. We do see a little bit of a differentiation. I think when people are looking at the houses all year long, we've made a differentiation with some decals between Core RV and Core Ice. I think there's a very large segment that is only going to see this and use this as an ice trailer. And I think that there's some people that might see ice on the side of our trailer as a barrier for them to consider it as a valid RV. And that's where we made that separation in our naming. But I think I see a lot of we were talking earlier, just kind of chatting about who our customer is and what they do. And we all fish, right? Secondly, right in there, probably one of our more braggable activities would be hunting. And I see a lot of pictures every year of people sending me pictures of their hunting trips where they're out west. They're places I'm very jealous of where they're at. There's a guy that sent me some pictures of this ram that he shot, and it's like, wow, like total bucket list type stuff. So I know that we're on the high adventure. We're getting into the highland elk hunt. The elk hunt is kind of routine for a lot of these people, and they appreciate having a lightweight trail to get up the forest roads and stuff. I've seen pictures of moose hunts and other things like that. Neat stuff. So I know we're very valid in that hunting world, but they're also bringing their toy with them, their ATV or their side-by-side, and that's where we succeed. For sure, people use this for campers. I think that people will always be able to justify their purchase with the thought of camping, but even in the other fish house world, I'm not sure that there's truly a sole ice, a non-ice owner, right? That ice is always a segment. I would say that we definitely have some that are 70% camping, 30%, ice fishing. But I don't think we go into that 10% ice fishing, often. But we have plenty of people that order our units without holes in the floor as well. So,
Very cool. Mark, there's a bunch of people out here. They're all looking to talk to you, but I appreciate you taking quick time to chat with us a little bit. Always fun to talk to you here at the show.
Chris, it's always a pleasure. Can't wait. We got a trip coming up. We got to make it happen.
We're going to do it.
Lake Superior?
Let's do it.
Ice or open water?
Let's do ice.
I say both.
We can do both.
Sounds good,
all
Chris.
Right.
Thanks,
Mark,
bud. All right.
Appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.